Hi, welcome to Stamping with Gloria. Today I'm going to teach you this beautiful, elegant card that I made to take with me to convention this year. And I just love the balance of this card, and I love all the glitz. So let's get started, and I'll show you the two stamp sets that we're going to be using. The first one is the Definitely Dahlia. The second one is the Bravo. And the Bravo, the words are very large. They're only shown here at 65%. But they cover a card so well and make a great focal point. So if you want a quick card, this is the size of stamp set that you might want to purchase. And it works really well with scrapbooking too. The other thing that we have in making this card is the mini treat bag thinlits. And in this kit, you actually get all of these pieces as well as the bag. And today we're going to just be using this particular die, which you see here. And I did want to show you what the bag looks like. It's about the size of a card, a little more narrow, so you can put a smaller card in here or a treat, and you can decorate it with all those dies. So that's a really nice die to have if you have the big shot. The other thing that I did want to show you is I filled up the Stampin' Up! Spritzer with, what did I fill it up with? Oh, Clorox. I filled it up with Clorox. I've been playing around with these, and I have a lot of different ones because I've been doing all kinds of backgrounds with these. So it's great to have a few of these on hand. And I went ahead and spritzed the black cardstock with the bleach, and that just gives the paper a really neat speckled effect. I'm going to bring this up here and hopefully you can see it, but it just gives it a little bit of speckling, which is nice. So I did also want to show you how I mix the embossing powders, and what I've done is taken a little container. I've taken the gold, the silver, and the black embossing powder, and I've taken a teaspoon of the gold, a teaspoon of the silver, and then a half of a teaspoon of the black. And I love mixing powders. It just makes the embossing so much more fun, and you get a lot of variety. The more colors you have, the better, because then you can mix and match everything. So we are going to start by taking our cardstock and stamping. So let's start with this. And you always want to have your little embossing buddy, just so you don't get all those little speckles. That's something that we try to avoid. And I'm going to be using the Versamark with our Dahlia stamp, and I'm going to ink this up and then stamp it. And then using the Bravo stamp, I'm going to ink and stamp that. And now we're going to apply the powder. And what's nice about this container is look at how easy this is to get onto all the different stamps that we have on here. And then we'll just tap off the excess, and then we're going to emboss it with our heat tool. And embossing, people do it different ways, but I found this particular way works the best for me, is holding the actual embossing tool in one particular location on your stamped image, and just wait until the powder begins to melt. It takes less time that way to get the image fully melted, just like that. If you find that you have too many speckles on your cardstock, number one, you probably haven't used the embossing buddy, or you haven't shaken off enough of the powder. So another way to heat to keep from getting all those extra speckles is from the back side. And you see how that works? The heat is now embossing the words, just like that. Okay, so that was my little tip for embossing. The next little step is we want to add this butterfly. And the butterfly is actually our gold glimmer paper. And I'm just going to punch out a little butterfly here using the butterfly punch. And we're going to take just a little dimensional and press in the center to lift the paper edge so it's easier to peel off. And then we're just going to add this to the card. Next, we're going to take the dazzling details. And if you don't have dazzling details yet, you'll need to add that to your list because it's one of those glitzy products that we carry that I use a lot of. If you like glitz, this is what you want. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some black embossing powder to this. Do you see how this is still a little bit brighter than the rest of it? I don't know if you could tell that in the video, but I'm taking some black on a fork, some black embossing powder, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of powder on the butterfly so it coordinates with the powders that I've mixed already. And it just tones it down a little bit so it blends in, just like that. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is add a rhinestone, and I'm using, you see all that glitz? More glitz, love the glitz. And I'm just going to be using one of these little rhinestones. Actually, it's the medium size. I'm just going to pop that on the edge there. See if I can get it toward the very edge is where I want it. There we go. And that is our card. Quick, simple, beautiful, and wonderful. I mean, I wish you could see it in person. Maybe you've been at the swap at convention and got one of these cards, but I just really enjoy this card. It's a real quick and simple one, and you could do it in any color combination, which is really nice. So I hope you've enjoyed today's project, and I hope you come back soon. Thank you.